But now we're going to do our hackathon winners. So I'd like to introduce Srini.
Can we change the slide deck? Sorry about that, guys. So before we start, I'm Srini Sitaraman. I'm an architect at Infinera. I also, in my spare time, work on something called SDN Hub, which is kind of a portal for a lot of open source activity. So open source in general, as you may all know, is a very important waypoint towards commercialization and deploying technologies, because you have open standards, but someone's got to give it a try and see if that works out, and also innovate more. And open source has always been the best vehicle to do that. So, there you go. So ONUG has been very supportive of open source from the very beginning, and this is the second time we organized a hackathon, and this time we set the agenda to focus on developing tools and different applications to address network automation. And we announced this grand challenge about a couple of months ago, and we asked for participants to be brave, be wild, and generate a lot of fun ideas and write source code. And the simple rules we had is whatever submission you make should be built for the hackathon, and also anything you contribute should be open source. And this is the best way to promote open source and develop the community. And we had great judges. So Ario, Carlos, Neil, and Ted were the judges. And we had about 8 teams that signed up, but really at the end, 4 of them that managed to actually deliver code that worked. So these are the 4 teams that submitted code that actually worked, ran, and they did a great presentation. I have a few lines about these. We'll have the winner, of course, come and give a slightly more longer presentation about what he did. The activity was all focused on network automation. We had Vipin work on automating network policies in a container environment. And we had Rahul and team come from Northeastern and focus on building a cloud gateway to help with migration to the cloud. And students at Yale focused on better SDN programming and real-time monitoring. And Denny from IBM, he focused on how do I map between the underlay and the overlay, which is, as you know, a very important challenge. So these were the participants, and Vipin did a great presentation. He's the winner. Let's give a round of applause to Vipin. So Vipin is a distinguished engineer at Cisco and also a lead developer for the project Contive. And we want to also mention the close runner-up, which is Denny from IBM. I mean, he did great work, but of course, Vipin is the winner. So let me hand this over to Vipin. He can give you an idea of exactly what he built, and he said he'll be able to either show a demo or talk more about this offline outside. Today, time restrictions, we probably will only have slides.
Okay. Thanks, Srini. I want to thank ONUG for giving me this opportunity, really. Engineers is what is inside me. I love coding. I want to really make sure that, not only we do it, but, open source is. All the components I used are open source, and what I did is also open source. So you can try it out yourself, play with it, have fun, build more things on top of that. That's my, source of encouragement from ONUG. Thanks. So with that, I'll just quickly talk about the problem in like 2-3 sentences. These are not fancy slides, really. Policies and automation, they are like two opposite ends. You're trying to automate, you don't get policies because they are restrictive, they are more constrained. On the other hand, automation is freedom, and go wild in whatever you're doing. So I was trying to juggle with this dilemma as to how do you automate policies, because they are like a big challenge. So what I did was, if you're familiar with Docker Compose tool, so I took that and tried to insert the policies alongside when the service tiers are getting instantiated. So in a cluster of nodes, you can expect containers to be launched and the policies between them to be automated as and when they are running, and then when they are withdrawn, the policies are withdrawn. So that's the part of the demonstration I did. So in this example, what I did was I took a database tier and I took application tier and web tier, and specify a very simple way for policies to be instantiated. And then, when you launch the entire composition, these rules get automated on its own. So for that, I use these two tools. The first one is the, Contiv. I'm one of the lead developers in the open source project, which is called Contiv. And it does policies for networking and storage. You are welcome to check it out on github.com/Contiv. And then I took Docker as the base here and try to just do everything from a composition point of view, which is the application blueprint, not really that you have to go and specify everything natively there. So in that case, as we launch the application, these policies get instantiated. So you have database tier, which is only accessible by the web tier that you instantiated, and the web tier is only accessible on port whatever that you specify. These could be TCP, IP, ICMP, whatever rules that you're familiar with. Okay, so with that, why is it so cool? I would like to tout about it, of course, and it is cool because it is a real challenge that needs to be worked upon. I felt that I should take a stab at it. It didn't take that much of time to be truthful about that, and to keep the spirit of hackathon. The code changes are in my repository. You can try it out, and you can. This is a self-guided tool, so you don't need big systems or machines to be able to play with this. It works on your laptop, so you are welcome to literally go through every single step and play with it and see how things are happening and all that underneath. A way to enforce the policies, I used OpenFlow-based OVS to do that. So that's one open source tool. Docker and Docker Compose is another tool. Contiv is the third tool that I used to get there. So of course, hacking on containers Go and all that was fun, and that's it from me. I think if you have any questions, if you'd like to see it live, you're more than welcome to catch me, and I'll show it to you on my laptop. Yes, we did record. So I maybe we'll let Nick and Srini to send the recording link so everyone can take a look at it, and maybe see what value it brings, and more importantly hack on it. Thanks.